Hello everyone, and my name is Teresa Brown and welcome to learning more about Stampin' Up products. Today we're going to be going through the adhesives. Now there's so many different ways you can use your adhesives, so we're going to start off with looking through the book, our main catalogue, annual catalogue on page 138 has the adhesives in there for you to check out. So it might pay for you to have a look. If you haven't done adhesives before, you might need to have a look at that. So there's different types. So let's come down to the workbench and get started on this. So the first one I want to share with you is our seal, which is this one here. So it comes in a container. You can buy one solid one with the insert already in it, and then you can order refills. I often say if you buy one, buy a refill at the same time, then that way when you use that refill you can order another refill so you never run out. And that's a really little good gold nugget to remember, because yeah, they can run out really easy. Now I like using my seal with my silicone mat, my silicone craft mat. And the reason being is that when you come down, I'm just going to come on with some paper here. When you come down on your paper, sometimes it works and sometimes it won't. And you think, what have I done? Just get it on your silicone mat and start bringing it down, and then come back down onto your cardstock, and you'll see that it works really well. Okay, if you want a really fine line, you can come partly on the cardstock and partly onto the silicone mat. So once again, press down, and when you get to the end, just tick it off. Okay, so you'll get that nice fine line. I don't know if you can see it there, but yeah, you get that nice fine line right across there. If you want a wide line, the same. If it's not going, just start it off on your silicone mat and then come down, and you will see that it will do a complete line. I don't know if you can see that, but hopefully you can see that right across there. They should make it colours, shouldn't they, so that you can see it. But anyhow, so this is really good for card making. It's also good for any quick easy paper crafting that you want to do, like when you're making little bags or any 3D products or anything like that. You can use this one. Don't forget to always make sure that this solid part up here is to the top, and that you always put your cap back on when you're finished with it. Okay, so that's our seal. Refills are really easy. These just pull apart and then they just sit in. Okay, so you can put the refills in there quite easily. They come in a little Ziploc bag so that they always have their adhesive stick on there for you. Now the Seal Plus is a little bit stronger. This is very permanent. Once this one's down, there's no lifting anything up from it. Okay, nothing at all. Yeah, so use exactly the same with your silicone craft sheet, but it's permanent. Okay, so exactly the same. It can be used for all sorts of projects that you want to use, but like I said, like your boxes and things like that too. If you really want something permanent, your Seal Plus. I don't know if you remember the red sticky tape. A lot of people might remember that. It was a tape that had a red backing on it. This is very much equivalent to that, so it's very, very strong. Okay, the next thing we have is our mini glue dots. Now mini glue dots are for putting on ribbons, also putting on any embellishments that you want to, metals or anything like that. They're a little dot and they're very hard to see here. I'm just going to rip a tiny little piece of paper, or so that you can sort of see that when you put that on, it's stuck on there. Okay, it's permanently stuck on there. Okay, so you can lift it, make sure that pull it from underneath, and the glue dot's underneath. It's very strong. Now a lot of people use this for card making. If they want to, they can just put the one in each corner. I find a lot of people like using these. They're very strong for putting metals on things, on your scrapbooking as well as your card making. So very, very helpful on putting ribbons, bows, anything like that onto your projects. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to put a little piece of ribbon and I tie it underneath, and then that way I can just peel this back to where my next mini glue dot is, and then I can just once again come down, and you can sort of see it's really stuck in there. So I don't know if you can see the little dot, but yeah, it's really stuck in that area. Okay, so you can sort of see the little dot poking up there. Okay, so that's a little silicone dot. Now silicone dots you can put buttons on, like I said, you can put metals on, you can put flowers on, you can use it to hide bits underneath your raised up areas as well. So they're really handy, they're non-toxic, and you can use these in your scrapbooking as well. So the next glue that we have is our tear tape. So our tear tape is exactly what it says. It tears. You can just tear it off. Okay. You can, I'm just going to stick that on there. When you take this off, you want to rub it really well on the back. It won't stick. The good thing about the silicone mat is you can put any of your glue down there. So say you're making something, you can actually just come along and pull these off and stick them onto your silicone mat. So when you're making, I'm just going to fold that in half because it's got glue in it. Okay, so when you're actually putting this onto a project, you want to rub it pretty hard. You might even want to use your bone folder to rub it down, and then you just peel the back off, the little coating here. Can you see that? Can you see the glue? Now, I love using the tear tape at Christmas time with my embossing powder. I love to put the tear tape around my cards and use the gold or silver embossing powder. So that's something that will be shown and shared within the embossing powder class that's coming up. Okay, but yeah, really, really neat little trick for that. So this is a really great little tip too, because if you put it on your paper, you will definitely rip the paper and you'll be able to not use it. But this, you can use it and lift each one and use it. And I like doing this if I've got a project where I need the pieces. I might cut all the pieces and stick them on my silicone mat craft sheet. So that's a really great gold nugget there, just having all your pieces ready to go. Don't forget to give them a little bit of a rub with your bone folder, just so that they are really stuck down, and then just peel the backs off. Yeah, they get a bit on the, that's why you need to rub them down, because you need to get that bit down and then you can lift them. So just make sure that you I just cut my nails this morning. Not a clever thing to do when you're doing glue. Okay, so you can sort of see now that the glue just comes on there really easy. And then you can just put whatever it is that you're going to stick on there, and you can see that it's going to stick really, really simple. Okay, so it's just going to stay on there. It's a really good glue. Some people just prefer to use this for card making. It's not messy like your liquid glue. Okay, it's a dry glue. So it's very simple to use. You can use it for your scrapbooking as well. Okay, so then we have our dimensions. We have lots and lots of different dimensions and foamies. So let me start with our strips. Our strips are individual. I love these. They're all individual, so you can pull them off. These are fantastic for if you're going to do like a shaker card. Okay, so you can actually build up your little frame for a shaker card. So you can do each side. And then your shakers aren't going to, your shaker pieces aren't going to fall out. So the other good thing about this is that, okay, they're easy to cut. So you just need to trim it to size. Okay, easy to cut. And you can put your put your shaker pieces in there, peel this off and put your little bits inside here, your little shaker pieces, and then heave your window sheet to the top. Okay, just need to trim that a little bit more. So now you've made a shaker box. Now that's just one level. You can actually bring it up 2 levels. So if you want a higher lot in your shaker, you can bring it up 2 levels. And if you're going to bring it up 2 levels, I always suggest to start and go over your join and maybe stop here, and then come this one, like come down, and then bring your joins in a separate place. So you've got a join here, a join here, and a join there on top. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm just going to show you. So make sure when you do your second lot, you might want to start it that you cover that join up down there. So you're making sure that it's really joined solid in the areas. Cut this off. Now just don't forget, I haven't peeled this. You need to peel the backing off if you want it to stick. Okay, so I'm going to peel the backing off on here. See how you must peel the backing off. Okay, so with this one, we're going to come over the top of this one. And then we're going to bring this one down here so that we have joins in different places. It just, when you're doing your shaker, it makes it a little bit more that it's not going to slide through a little gap anywhere. Okay, and this is a really good dimension. A lot of people like using this long dimension. You can use it for card making as well. Just as a dimension, you can just cut the pieces off to the size that you want. And you can layer it up as many times as you want. So that's 2 layers and 1 layer. Okay, so that's a really good way of doing your shaker cards. So I hope you have fun with that one, because that comes in a pack like this, and it's really, 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 really handy. Then we have also our foam adhesive sheets. Now, a lot of people don't realise that we even have these. They're great sheets so that you can actually cut them to the size that you want. Say you might want a big solid piece, or a thicker piece, a lot thicker piece. You can actually cut them to whatever you want. So they are fantastic. I love them that you can use. We also have our baby mini dimensions. We also have our big dimensions, which are really fantastic. And then we have them in the black as well. And the black is a combination pack, a combo pack. So it's got the small and the little in it. Okay, let me just grab one of these over here. So this is your dimension. This is what it looks like when it's out. So that's your big one. And I'm just going to see if I've got a little one over here. And you can sort of see that's the difference between the sizes. So you can sort of see the big one is quite big and the little one is very little. It's for those little spots that you want, or the back of little flowers that's that you have also. So dimensions are quick, easy. Just bend them in the middle like this and you can peel the back off. Can you see how I just did that? Just bend them in the middle, and the back will come off. Now, I love using my silica mat. I have probably 8 of these. I use them for all sorts of things, and especially for your glues, because they're very handy to have your backs already started lifting off if you want to. Really great idea. The same size in the black. Okay, so really, really good. I'm just going to stick these now to there. Okay, so the last and my favourite, not the last, actually, sorry. We have our liquid glue, our liquid Tombow glue, which is my most favourite. And I use this all the time. This has got a pen end, so really fine end. Sometimes this gets a little bit blocked. You might have to just give it a rinse. Take this off and rinse it under the water. But make sure that you clean it and pull the end off it, the little bit out of it. Also, we have our wide end, okay, which a lot of people don't realise that we have either. This is great if you're doing big areas, okay, so you can just wind the glue around. If you're doing really big areas, this is fantastic. A lot of thing that people don't realise either is if you do it very fine along some photocopy paper and let it dry, you can make your own Post-it notes. So if you need a bigger Post-it note, you can make one. Don't do it thick though, you just need it thin, very thin. So multi-purpose liquid glue is one of my favourites, and this is the one I use 99% of the time for my card making. But I use all the other things for what they are needed for. Now this is our adhesive sheet. Love the adhesive sheet. It comes in a pack like this, and this is for using with your die cutting machine. Okay, oh, I've got a piece here. Using with your die cutting machine. Now on here you'll see that you have on this sorry, you'll have where you can lift it. Okay, there's little pieces where you can actually lift and put on. So let's just do a little piece here. You're just going to pop it straight onto the back of your cardstock, and then we're just going to cut that off. And put that bit away for a bit later, okay? And then you can just peel this bit off as well, okay? And then it sticks down. Now this is really great if you're doing any little die, fancy little die like this that you have to stick down. You can actually do this. So I'll just share, this would be something I share through when we use our die cutting machines as well. But I just want to share with you this today as well. Okay, so this is our little mini machine. This is a fantastic little machine if you're going to have on your workbench, or you can even have it on your table. So the easiest way to put your plates through is to do like a little E format. So bring this one in and bring this one out. So it's sort of in and out. So you need your plate number 1 and your plate number 2. I love that they're numbered. You can see I use mine a lot. Adhesive side down. And then coming with your die that you're going to be wanting to cut out. And then plate number 2 over the top. Now sometimes when you put it through like this, even, it's too bulky. So pull your middle one down a little bit. just so that it's not quite bulky when it goes through. Okay, and then just wind it through. Just going to make sure I've got my die sitting on there properly because I just moved it. You want to, if you want to hold your die down, you can with some Post-it notes, but 99% of the time I find it quite all right just to go through. Now, some people like to go through once and then come back a second time. That is a choice. Okay, that's a choice thing if you want to do that. So when you actually got this come out, make sure that you turn it over and you can see that it has cut through all the pieces. Okay, so you can sort of see that it's cut through, all the pieces are cut through. The other good thing that I love that goes with this sort of, when you want to pull the backs off, is that we have our pick tool. And our pick tool also has an extended brush for doing our dies. It comes with 2 foam pads, a little bit different to this one because this one's my other one. And you can just pull this out. Just go over the back and the front of it, and all the little pieces will come out. Now, the thing that I like about this too is that on this side you've got a little piercing thing, so you can sort of just pull those little pieces out. Now, when you go to glue this on your card, you don't have to worry about trying to get in around all these little pieces, okay? Because just make sure you've got it placed properly on your card where you want it or where you're going to place it on your project. I've just done it very randomly here. These pieces will lift up. I'm just going to use my paper scissors for a minute and just say we're going to trim this off because we can, just so you can sort of see. Okay, all this stuff goes in the bin. And then you can just peel this off. I'm just going to peel it off for you. Okay, once that all comes off, that is sticky. Now you can, well, you can cut this out properly. And now this can go on part of a card. So now you can sort of pick, say you're going to place it, let's say we've got this folded as a card, and you want this just as part of the top of the card or something like that. You can actually come in now and stick it, and you don't have to pull all those pieces out. You don't have to glue around it with the liquid glue and get glue or sticky all over the place. The adhesive sheets are fantastic. I love them. They are really one of the things I say is a must-have. A must-have. So if you're using dies, or if you're deciding to get dies and your die cutting machine, adhesive sheet, that's what you want for that. Silicone mat is a definite to buy at the same time as your glues. Even when you're using this glue, you can put it down on, okay, it's not going to come out that side because it's blocked, I know it is. So even if you're going to use a bit of the glue, you can put it on your silicone mat, and you can use a paintbrush or whatever you want. If you want the tiniest little bit, you can even come in adding a little bit and then just using the point, and you get these, if the lighter you point, you get really fine little dots. So you can sort of do this on your silicone mat. Can you see how fine you can get those dots down to? Absolutely beautiful. So silicone mat's really handy. It's handy for lots of things. That will just wash off okay, underwater. The other thing that is a really handy little tool to have with your glues is your pick tool and your accessories. So there's quite a few different accessories that you can get with your tool. So for instance, you have silicone dot, and you might, on this side you have your little clay, and you just wind this out. Okay, like I just winded that out. Just do it like a little bit of a putty on the end, which is really good. And then you can pick up your little pieces or your little sequence, little dimensions, and then you can place it into the glue, pick it back up, and you can stick it back onto your project. And then you can just glue it onto your project. Okay, so you can do it that way. This piercing tool also comes in handy for when you're using your dots, is that you might just want to lift them out, but you might want to also just take the top off with them. So that's another thing that's handy for your glue. So this is the go-to tool that I would say goes really hand in hand with your adhesive. With your accessory brush, you'll get 2 foam mats, a little bit smaller than that. They're about this size. So you'll get that with your accessory brush. When you buy your brush, you'll get that will come with 2 mats. And then we have also some more accessories that you can add to your pick tool, which is a piercing tool. It's a knife and a hook and things like that that you can use. But I'll do a pick tool sample one day as well. So, but just when you're buying your glues, silicone craft sheet and your pick tool, and if you're going to get a die cutting machine, get the accessories to go with it as well, because you'll find that you'll use all these products. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about our glues today. And for those who don't know me, my name is Teresa Brown, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I have been for 17 years, and I love to be your creative coach. And if you don't have a demonstrator, you can always contact me, and I'm more than happy to share lots of different products with you. I do live Facebook, free classes as well, and I also have an Instagram account as well. So I will see you all in the next video, and I hope you know a little bit more about our adhesive and what to use for what projects. And I'll see you later. Bye for now. And I'm just going to hold this one up. There you go.